Welcome back, fight fans, to another episode of GTS Combat. And yo, we're looking ahead to another highly anticipated fight. The March 13th card finally has a main event after Khamzat Chimaev had to pull out once again due to COVID. The fight was already booked, I believe, twice previously. We had Leon pull out, we've had Khamzat pull out, and then he's pulled out once again. But it's nobody's fault. Hopefully Khamzat can get better soon and get back in the octagon, because I was quite enjoying seeing his sort of rise up the division. I was a bit sort of scared for Leon, as he's one of my local guys from Birmingham in the UK, but it was an interesting matchup. So yeah, we'll see what Khamzat does next when he's back and when he's ready to get back in the octagon. But for now, we've got Leon still in the March 13th main event. And yeah, there was a few people being talked about. Colby Covington was being mentioned, but he didn't think Leon was a worthy opponent. You saw Thompson throw his name into the mix again after he called him out in a nice way previously when the fight fell through. But Leon was kind of disregarding Thompson in that sense, saying yeah, he wants to fight up in the rankings, which is fair enough, I suppose. But I just wanted to see Leon back in there, and yeah, we've wound up with number 13th ranked Belal Muhammad, the Bully B as he goes by on Instagram. So yeah, it's a bit of an interesting one, I suppose. You got Leon coming into this 18-3, ranked third in the welterweight division, and Belal Muhammad also 18-3, but ranked number 13 in the welterweight division. And when you look into their records a bit more, you got Leon coming into this 6-0 coming via TKO or KO stoppage, and 3-0 coming via submission, whilst Belal Muhammad 4-1 coming via TKO or KO stoppage, and 1-0 coming via submission. So yeah, records quite similar, I suppose, in a sense. I suppose Leon hasn't actually been finished in the octagon, whilst Belal has got that one TKO KO stoppage on his record. But yeah, height and reach wise, Leon, it was saying he's about 6 foot to 6'2", which you know, bit of a discrepancy there, but you know, the UFC stats are sometimes a bit inaccurate, so I had a little look around, and what I could see is about 6 foot to 6'2", and Belal Muhammad, it was saying 5'10" to 5'11", so yeah, a little bit of a advantage to Leon in that sense. And then in the reach, a slight advantage also of a 74-inch reach compared to Belal's 72-inch reach, but not much difference at all really, I suppose. We won't really notice too much difference. It's more about, I suppose, how you utilize it when you're in the octagon. But Leon is also coming in as the younger fighter, which isn't really much you look into at times when, I suppose, the fighters aren't getting on in their career. But to say Leon is the actual more experienced at a higher level, and he's the younger fighter, is quite interesting in I believe anyway. You know, he's 29 whilst Belal's 32, and this is sort of Belal's first big fight, because previously, you know, in his last fight, which has been very recently, just, you know, last weekend, he fought Diego Lima, which he won via unanimous decision. And prior to that, he also beat Lyman Good via unanimous decision. He submitted Takashi Sato prior to that, and he also beat Curtis Millender via unanimous decision. And this all has come since his last loss to Jeff Neal, which he lost via unanimous decision. So yeah, he's on a 4-fight win streak coming into this, so he's going to be, you know, the most confident he's ever been. He thinks this is his opportunity. It is a big opportunity for Belal Muhammad. You know, he's the 13th ranked welterweight in the UFC, and he's going to be taking on the 3rd rank, so he could really catapult himself up the rankings if he gets a win over Leon, who hasn't fought, I believe, since 2019 now. So it's been about a year and a half since he was last in the octagon, when he beat RDA in a 5-round unanimous decision victory. So like I said, Belal hasn't fought at the same level that Leon has, but Leon hasn't been active quite like Belal has recently. So it's going to be quite an interesting matchup. I believe it is going to be quite an all-round MMA fight. You know, both guys like to stand and stand and strike, but they do mix it up a bit. They throw in a bit of the grappling, a bit of the clinch game, a few little takedowns here and there. We saw it with Belal in his last fight, scoring quite a few takedowns against Diego Lima, quite going for it at times. So He does like to go in and shoot for a takedown, but Leon likes to mix it up also. We saw him out wrestle Gunnar Nelson, which was very impressive. He said he went in there and he wanted to show that he could out wrestle Gunnar Nelson. So we know that Leon can mix it up also. He's a very all-round MMA fighter. So it's gonna be interesting how it plays out, but you know, going off the records, Leon last beating RDA, beating Gunnar Nelson before that, also 5-round decision victory over Donald Cerrone. He got a one of the latest stoppages in the UFC, the 4-minute 59-second stoppage in the 3rd round against Peter Sabata, and also then prior to that a unanimous decision against Brian Barberina and Vicente Luque. So he's on an 8-fight win streak since he's lost to the current champion in Kamaru Usman. So Leon's been there, he's done it. He's also got one of the fastest victories in the welterweight division. I believe it's 8 or 9 seconds also. That's what he was saying to Khamzat. What Khamzat was doing, Leon's been there, he's done it. He just didn't have the hype behind him. He's been slowly climbing his way up these rankings, beating the guys put in front of him. His only loss in the UFC has come to Kamaru Usman. He's on an 8-fight win streak going into this one. Yes, he's been out of the octagon. Hopefully ring rust or octagon rust isn't going to be a factor. I hope he gets the victory. He's fighting and he represents Birmingham, my hometown. So of course I'm backing him, and I do like Belal Muhammad and the personality that he is in the UFC. I know he hasn't been up there with in the rankings wise, but I watched the whole card from the prelims to the main event, and he's one of them personalities that I look out for when he's on a card. So it's going to be unfortunate to see him take a loss, but I've got to back Leon, so I'm going with a unanimous decision, because both guys, it's the most common thing on their records. You see, they're not the biggest finishers in any sense, whether it comes to submissions or TKO or KO stoppages. So I'm gonna back Leon to take his time with it. He's been out of there a while, so he's gonna get a feel of things. He's gonna, I'm gonna say, be calculated in his strikes, and he's going to pick Belal apart. He's going to throw in a bit of the grappling, a bit of the wrestling, just to mix it up and wear him down. And yeah, he's going to grind through and get that 5-round decision, unanimous decision victory against Belal Muhammad. And apparently, according to Brett Okamoto, they're saying if as long as he gets the victory, he gets the next title shot against Kamaru Usman. So if that is the case, he finally get that rematch. He'll be on a 9-fight win streak since he's lost to Kamaru Usman, and he'll be getting back in there with him. And then we'll have to tune in and find out what happens. But first of all, we're going to tune in on March 13th to Leon Edwards against Belal Muhammad. As long as nothing happens between now and then. I suppose I should touch wood, otherwise I'm going to get the blame, but I'll do it after the video. I've been your boy Jimmy. This has been GTS Combat. Let me know your predictions in the comment section below. Make sure you like, comment, share and subscribe. Till next time.